Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mars Theater. My name is Kaylee Smith. I am the head here. Before we get started, I would like to make a handful of announcements. First off is cell phones. As amazing as these devices are and beneficial to our life, they can be very distracting. So we ask that you go ahead and silence them for the production, but that way if it goes off, it won't distract those on stage. However, this is a royalty-free show. So if you have people that you know who are in the show or just would like to take some pictures, feel free to take pictures or video. We just ask that you go ahead and turn off the flash for the same reason. It will distract those on stage. If you do choose to take any pictures or video of this evening, feel free to tag us on Instagram or Facebook at Back Alley Productions. We love to see y'all's photos, and we love to be back into the spirit of theater again. And so definitely help people out knowing that we are back and open again by letting them know that you are here and you had a good time. In case of emergencies, the entrance that you just came through is also an emergency exit, as well as one straight through these curtains and to the right or left, depends on where you are on stage. Nonetheless, in case of emergency, please head to one calmly that is most convenient to you. Next up is we have a lot of little princesses in this cast, and they have worked so hard to put this show on. However, because they are little, they have not had a chance to even possibly choose to get vaccinated. So we ask for their safety. If you guys could keep your masks on during the show, it would really mean a lot to us and to them. However, we do know that sometimes it gets difficult to breathe in a mask, so we are offering complimentary waters to anyone who is interested in them. See me at intermission. I'll be happy to get you a bottle of water if you need it. Next up is, let's see. Yes, The Great Gatsby. We will be opening with The Great Gatsby in August, directed by Madison Smith. A couple of the guys in the production right now are going to be showing in The Great Gatsby. So if you're interested in seeing Fitzgerald's novella put to life, feel free to come back in August for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Also, we are a not-for-profit. We are 501(c)(3), so any donations that are made to Back Alley are tax-deductible, and it means a lot to us. We would not be here today and open if it wasn't for the generous people who got us through 2020. So we thank you guys for being generous and giving. Let's see. I think that is about it. Let's see. There will be a 15-minute intermission, but you can get your waters then. And I believe that is it. Thank you for coming to our final production of A Little Princess. It means a lot to us that you guys came out and supported us at the beginning of all of this. So here's to hoping that the rest of the year we continue to be able to put on wonderful shows for you. And for you all who are seeing us online right now, thank you. We appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoy the show as well. All right, I think that is about it. So laugh when we are funny, cry when we are sad, and sit back and enjoy, adapted and directed by Crystal Dawson, A Little Princess.
What is it, darling? What are you thinking of?
It's just strange that not too long ago, we were in India. Then we were in the middle of the ocean. And now we're here in London. Are you sure this is the place, Papa?
Yes, little princess. It is. We finally arrived.
Oh, couldn't you come to school with me? and help you with all of your lessons.
But you will not have to stay long. Look, you'll be in a nice big house, other girls, you'll play together, I'll bring you plenty of books, and before you know it, it'll be time for you to go home.
Well, Papa, if we're here, I suppose we must be resigned.
Yes, well, this is certainly the place. Miss Mitchell Select Seminary for young ladies. Good day. I'm Captain Crook. This is my daughter Sarah. She used to be a pupil here, and I was told to meet with Miss Mitchell here around 2 o'clock.
Of course. Please, come in. Miss Mitchell will be here in a mo. Please, sit.
Thank you.
I don't like it, Papa. I guess soldiers, even brave ones, don't really like going into battle.
What will I do when I don't have you to say such solemn things to me? No one is as solemn as you are.
But why do solemn things make you laugh so?
Because you're so much fun when you say them.
Captain Cook. And this must be dear Sarah. Oh, it will be a great privilege to have charge of such a lovely and promising young child. Lady Meredith has told me all about her unusual cleverness. A clever child is a great treasure in an establishment such as mine.
Of course.
As I stated in my letter, Sarah will be what we call a parlor boarder. She'll have a lovely and spacious bedroom as well as the sitting room.
If you don't mind me saying, it's a little bare, don't you
Oh,
think?
of course, we'll provide anything that dear Sarah might need or desire. We didn't put much in it so that Sarah could decide how it should look.
That's quite generous of you, Miss Mitchell.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Mitchum.
She'll also have a carriage and a pony as well as a babe. Now, as to her education, of course,
I'm not particularly concerned with that, Miss Mitchell. But you see, the trick is actually going to keeping her from learning too much. She constantly has her little face buried in a book, grown-up books.
Oh.
Yes, she is constantly starving for new books. Honestly, she doesn't just read them; she devours them. Yeah. So, honestly, make her ride her pony and go out and buy her a new toy if she's reading too much.
But Papa, if I went out and bought a new toy every few days, I'd have more than I know what to do with.
how original. What a delightful child.
Yes. Yes, she certainly is. Please, please take care of her for me, Miss Mitchell.
Of course, of course. I shall leave you two to say, Sarah, I shall go see about your belongings.
Thank you, Miss Mitchum.
Sarah, are you learning me by heart?
No, I already know you by heart. You're in my heart.
Little princess. Before I forget, I brought you something.
Is it a book?
No, it's not a book. But I do believe you will like it or her just as much. Go on. Open it.
Oh, Papa, she's beautiful. I love her already.
See, there's something very special about this doll in particular. You can tell her about anything. Your lessons, the other little girls, your hopes and dreams, and she'll understand all of it.
She does look like she can hear and understand everything we're saying. Maybe I'll talk to her about you, Papa.
Oh, oh dear.
Don't worry. I'm sure Emily won't repeat anything I tell her.
Emily?
Yes. I've decided to call her that. She looks like an Emily, doesn't she, Papa?
Yes. Yes, she certainly does. She'll be an excellent friend to you while I'm gone. Anyway, I will write to you twice a week.
Will you tell me everything you're doing in India?
Only if you tell me about everything that you're doing here.
Of course.
I love you.
I love you too, Papa.
Twice a week.
Hello, Sarah. I'm Miss Amelia. I just wanted to check on you.
I want to be by myself, if you please.
Oh, all right then. Very well.
Enter.
Maria, I have never seen such a funny old-fashioned child. Sarah's sitting in her room, not making the least particle of noise.
It's better than if she kicked and screamed, as some of them do. I expected that a child as spoiled as she is would have set the entire house in an uproar. If ever a child was getting her own way in everything, she is.
I've been opening her trunks and putting her things away. I never seen anything like them. Sable and ermine on her coats, and real Valencian lace on her underclothing. You've seen some of her clothes. What do you think of them?
I think they're perfectly ridiculous. But they will look quite nice at the front of the line when we take the children to church on Sunday. That child has been provided for as if she's a little princess.
by her room the other day? The maid was putting away her things. Petticoats with lace frills on them. Then I heard Miss Minchin tell Miss Amelia her clothes were so grand they were ridiculous for a child. My mama says children should be dressed simply. She has one of those petticoats on now. I saw when she sat down.
She has silk stockings on.
And what little feet!
I never saw such little feet.
That's the way her slippers are made. My mama says even big feet can be made to look small with a clever shoemaker. I don't think she's pretty at all. Her eyes are such an odd color.
She isn't pretty the way other people are, but she makes you want to look at her again.
Young ladies, I wish to introduce you to your new companion. I expect all of you to be very nice to Miss Crew. She's come a very long way to us, from India, in fact. After lessons are over, you must make each other's acquaintance. Sarah, come here. As your father has engaged a French maid for you, I conclude that he wishes you to learn French.
I think he engaged her because he thought I might like her, Miss Minchin.
I'm afraid you've been a very spoiled little girl, and you always believe that things are done because you like them. My impression is that Father wishes you to learn French.
I've never really learned French, but my papa often spoke it to me.
That's enough. If you haven't learned, you must begin now. The French instructor, Madame Dufarge, will be here in just a few moments. Take this book and look it over until she arrives. You seem cross, Sarah. I'm sorry you don't like the idea of learning French.
I'm very fond of it, but
You mustn't say but when you're told to do something. Look at your book again.
Bonjour, mes filles! Is this a new pupil for me, madame? Mario!
Her father is very anxious that she should begin the language, but I'm afraid she has a childish prejudice against it. She doesn't seem to wish to learn.
Oh, no. I am so sorry to hear that, mademoiselle. Perhaps when we begin to study together, you'll see that it is a beautiful language.
je suis désolée, mais madame n'a pas compris. Je n'ai pas appris français, mais mon père m'a toujours fait. J'ai toujours été capable de lire et d'écrire en français.
See, you have not learned French. You are French, n'est-ce pas? Madame, there's not much more I can teach her.
You should have told me, Sarah.
I tried. I suppose I didn't begin right.
Silence, young ladies. Silence at once. Ermengarde St. John. What do you mean by such conduct? Sit up at once and stop chewing on your pigtails.
Miss St. John, would you read the phrases on page 12 for me, s'il vous plaît? Go ahead.
Oui, bon,
That's quite enough. I am certain that your father will be very disappointed to learn that you aren't even trying in your studies.
Very well, mademoiselles. We will be taking our breaks now. 2 sweet 15 minutes. Do not stray too far, huh?
What's your name? Oh my God, St. John. I'm Sarah Crew. Yours is very pretty. It sounds like a storybook name. You like it? I like yours. You can speak French, can't you? Just because I've heard it all my life. You can speak it too if you had always heard it. No, Adriana, I never speak it. The words are so strange. You're clever, aren't you? I don't know. I can't tell. Would you like to see Emily? Who's Emily? Come to my room and see. I know. Let's go very quietly to the door of my room. I'll open it very suddenly. Perhaps we'll catch her. Oh, she got back to her seat before we could see her. Of course. They always do. They're as quick as lightning. Can she walk? Yes. At least I believe she can. Or I pretend I believe she can. And that makes it seem true. Have you never pretended things? No, not really. Tell me about it. It's so easy that when you start, you can't stop. You just go on and on. Emily, this is Ermengarde St. John. Ermengarde, this is Emily. Would you like to hold her? May I? May I, really? She's beautiful. I like to believe that all dolls have a life of their own. I think they can walk and talk and do all the other things that other human beings can do. But only when they're out of the room. They have to keep their power secret so they can fly back to the places when people return to their room. Really? I'm very happy to have Emily talk to me now that Papa. Have you had a pain? Yes. It isn't in my body. Do you love your father? I think anything else in the whole world. I rarely ever see him. He's rarely home. I love mine more than all the world, 10 times over. That's what my pain is. He's gone away. I promised him I'd bear it. And I will. You have to bear things. Think what soldiers have to bear. If I keep telling you things and not pretending, I'll bear it better. You don't forget, but you bear it better. Maria and just your best friends. Do you think you and I could be best friends? I really do like you. I'm glad. It makes me thankful you're liked. Yes, we'll be friends. We'll be best friends. And I can help you with your French lesson. Really?
There's one thing about Sarah Crew. She's never grand about herself, even a little. And you know, she might be laughing. I think I couldn't help being just a little by its only fine things was made such a fuss over. It's terrible the way Miss Minton shows her off when parents come.
Dear Sarah must come into the drawing room to talk to Miss Musgrave about India. Dear Sarah must speak French to Lady Pitkin. Her accent is so perfect. She didn't even learn her French at the seminary anyway, and there's nothing so grand for her knowing it. She says herself, she didn't learn it at all. She just picked it up from her father. And there's nothing so special about her father being an Indian officer.
Well,
toy's room. That's why she likes it so much. She lies on it and strokes it and talks to it as if it was a cat.
She's always doing something silly like that. My mother said pretending things is foolish. She'll grow up to be eccentric. You stupid little brat! Do you not have any sense? You don't have to be so rude. She didn't mean to hit you.
Well, Vinny thinks she's so much better than everyone else.
Things happen to people by accident. I think a lot of nice accidents have happened to me. Being born with a wonderful papa, being able to have everything I liked. Maybe I don't really have a good temper at all. But if you have everything you want and everyone's kind to you, how can you help but be good-tempered? I don't know how we'll ever find out whether I'm really a nice or horrible child without any trials.
Well, Vinny doesn't need any trials. She's horrible enough.
Well, maybe that's because Lavinia is still growing.
What is the child crying about?
There, Lottie, please don't cry.
She ought to be whipped. Sarah!
I stopped because I knew it was Lottie, and I thought perhaps I could make her be quiet without trying to snitch them.
If you think you can, you are a clever child. If you would like to try, you certainly may.
Dear Lottie, I know you don't have a mama. Lottie, if you don't stop, I'm going to shake you. Oh, you silly child, I'll shake you, I will.
Miss Amelia? Miss Mitchell says I can try and make Lottie stop. May I?
Do you think you can?
I don't know if I can, but I'll try. If you'd like to let me stay with her.
Oh, Sarah, we've never had a child like this before. I don't think I can keep her.
Neither have I.
Where is she?
She went to heaven. I know she comes out to see me sometimes, though I don't see her. So does yours. Maybe they're both in this room and can see us now. Heaven's the most beautiful place in the world, Lottie. I have an idea. I'll be your mama here at school. We'll pretend you are my little girl, and my doll Emily can be your sister.
Really?
Yes, let's go tell her.
Okay.
Have you found any new stories for us, Sarah?
Yes, Sarah. Please tell a story. I love your stories. Please tell it. Please, please, please.
Yes, Sarah, tell a story. It's the only way to stop Lottie's screeching. Well, I have been thinking about one story. About a beautiful mermaid princess.
What was her name?
Calythia. She was very lovely. black hair and bright green eyes. Every day she'd leave her castle, sit on a white rock, and watch the other mer people. Some days she would watch the mer babies and mer children swim around, laughing, singing, and playing. Some days she would watch the mer people swim through the green waters, dragging fish nets made of pearls. One day, Olivia noticed a handsome mer that she hadn't seen before. Now she didn't know this, but he was actually a prince from. That girl's been listening!
I'm so sorry, miss.
I knew she was listening. Why shouldn't she?
Well, I don't know whether your mother would want you to tell stories to servant girls, but I know my mother would want me to.
I don't believe my mother would mind at all. She knows stories belong to everyone.
I thought your mother was dead. How could she know things?
Do you think she doesn't know things?
Sarah's mom knows everything. So does mine. My mom in heaven.
The streets of heaven shine like diamonds, and there are fields full of beautiful flowers, and everyone picks armfuls of them. And the people in heaven can look down on us and send us messages. Sarah tells me about it when she puts me to bed.
You wicked thing! Making up fairy tales about heaven!
How do you know mine aren't real? But I can tell you, you'll never find out whether they are or not if you're not kinder to people. Who is that girl? The servant girl?
Her name is Becky. She is the scullery. But she pretty much does everything around here.
You're always yelling, Becky, do this, and Becky, do that. Poor thing.
Oh, miss, I ask your pardon, miss.
Don't be frightened. It doesn't matter.
I didn't mean to, miss. It was all fire. I'm being so tired. I want independence.
You were tired. You couldn't help it. You're not really awake yet.
Ain't you angry, miss? Ain't you gonna tell the missus?
No, of course not. Why, we're the same. I'm only a little girl like you. It's an accident that I'm not you and you're not me.
It is?
Yes. Would you like to sit with me for a few minutes?
Here, miss. Me?
No one's around. Maybe you could stay for a while and have a piece of cake.
Is that your best dress, miss?
It's for dance class. I like it. Don't you?
Once I seen a princess. I was standing in the street with a crowd outside Covent Garden, watching people go to the opera. And there was this one everyone stared at most. I said to each other, that's the princess. She was a grown-up young lady. She was in pink all over, a gown and cloak and flowers and all. I remember in a minute asking me saying this. You look like her.
I've always thought I'd like to be a princess. I wonder what it feels like. I think I'll start pretending I am one. Becky, you were listening to my story the other day, weren't you?
Yes, miss. I know I hadn't ought to. It was so beautiful. I couldn't help it.
I'm glad you're listening. If you tell stories, there's nothing better than telling them to people who want to listen. I don't know why that is. Would you like to hear the rest?
Me hear it? Like I was a pupil. I read The Mermaid, and The Prince and the Merbabies.
You don't have time to hear it now. But if you tell me what time you come to do my rooms, I'll be here to tell you a bit of it each day. It's a lovely one, and I'm always adding new bits to it.
Then I wouldn't mind how heavy the call box was if I might have your stories to think of.
Then I'll tell it all to you.
Did you hear, Navi?
Hey, what?
Sarah got a letter from her father.
I'm so tired of hearing about Sarah Crew every minute.
Her father said he had heard from an old friend of his who owns this large piece of land where diamonds have been found. Captain Crew and his friend are going to develop diamond mines there. They're going to be so rich! What? Yes! They're going to be some of the richest people in the world, I bet.
My mama has a diamond ring, which costs £40. It's not even a big one either. There are mines full of diamonds. People would be so rich, it would be ridiculous.
Maybe Sal will be so rich she'll be ridiculous.
She's ridiculous without being rich.
I believe you hate her.
No, I don't. But I don't believe the mines are full of diamonds.
Well, people have got to get them from somewhere. Do you know what Lottie says?
No, I don't, and I don't care if it has something more to do with the wonderful Sarah.
Well, it does. She likes to pretend she's a princess. She plays it all the time, even at school. She even says it makes her learn lessons better. She says it has nothing to do with what you look like or what you have. It only has to do with what you think of or what you do.
I suppose she thinks she'd be a princess even if she were better. We should start calling her Your Royal Highness.
Yes.
There she is with that horrid child. If she's so fond of her, why doesn't she keep her in her own room? She'll start howling about something in 5 minutes. You wicked thing! Why are you crying? I'm not crying! Sarah! Sarah!
If she was to stop Miss Minchin, I'll hear her. Lottie, darling, I'll give you a penny.
I don't want your penny. I think my arm is broken. Now, Lottie, you promised me. But she said I was crying. I haven't got a mama. Yes, you do. Me, don't you remember? Come and sit by me, and I'll tell you a story. Will you tell me about the diamond mines? The diamond mines? You spoiled thing. I'd like to slap you. Well, I'd like to slap you, but I won't. We're not better children. We're both old enough to know better. Oh, yes, Your Royal Highness. We are princesses, aren't we? At least one of us is. The school ought to be very fashionable now that Miss Minchin has a princess for a pupil. It's true. Sometimes I pretend I'm a princess so I can try and behave like one. Dear me, I hope you won't forget us when you ascend the throne. I won't.
You see, little princess, I'm not much of a businessman. documents and figures. Such a bother. I don't understand any of it. And the whole thing just feels so enormous. Perhaps if I didn't spend half the night in troublesome dreams, the other half tossing and turning, things wouldn't be so bad. If you were here, you'd give me some nice, good, solemn advice. Wouldn't you, little princess? But enough of my troubles. I've made some upcoming arrangements for a birthday coming up. I've ordered us a new doll from Paris, and I've been told that her wardrobe is simply amazing.
I'm getting a little old, Papa. So this will be my last doll. There's something solemn about it. If I could write poetry, I'm sure a poem called The Last Doll would be nice. But I can't write poetry. I've tried and it made me laugh. It didn't sound anything at all like Watts or Coleridge or Shakespeare at all. No one could replace Emily. But I'll love The Last Doll very much. And I'm sure the school would love it. They all like dolls. Though some of the older ones pretend they're too grown up.
She's more fun every year that she lives. God permit this business sort itself out and let me run home to her. What I wouldn't give to have her little arms wrapped around me right now.
I brought you a birthday present. It isn't much.
That's so sweet of you. You really shouldn't have. A pincushion?
Do you like it, Miss Sarah?
I love it.
It ain't nothing but flannel. It ain't new. But I want to give you something. So I worked on it at night. And you could pretend it was satin with diamond pins. I tried to, and I was making it.
Oh, there's a card. To Miss Amelia Minchin.
It wasn't wrong of me to pick up out of the dustbin, was it? Miss Amelia had thrown away, and I had no card of my own, and I know it wouldn't be a proper present to have one. So, how you chose.
Oh, Becky, I love it. And I love you.
Thank you, miss. But it ain't good enough of that. The fun wasn't even new.
For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Amelia, you'll set your box on the table. Delphine, set yours on the chair. Becky, it isn't your place to stare at the young ladies. Set your box down. You may leave us now.
Miss Minchin, may Becky stay? I know she'd like to see the presents. She's a little girl too, you know?
Sarah, Becky is the scullery maid. Scullery maids aren't little girls.
But Becky is, and I know she'd enjoy herself. Please let her stay.
Very well. Since you ask it as a birthday favor, she may stay. Becky, thank Miss Sarah for her kindness.
I'm so grateful, miss. I did want to see the doll. Thank you, miss. Thank you, ma'am, for letting me take the liberty.
Yes, you stand over there. Now, young ladies, I have a few words that I would like to say to you.
She's going to make a speech. I wish it was over.
You all know that today is dear Sarah's birthday.
Dear Sarah.
Now, you've all had birthdays, but Sarah's birthdays are rather different. When she's older, she will be the heiress to a great fortune, and it will be her duty to spend it in a meritorious manner.
The diamond mine!
When her father, Captain Crewe, left her in my charge, he said to me in a jesting manner, "I'm afraid she's going to be very rich, Miss Minchin." My reply to him was, "Her education at my seminary will be such as will adorn the largest fortune." Sarah's become my most accomplished pupil. Her French is a credit to the school.
Oh, bravo!
Yes. Her manners, which have caused you all to call her Princess Sarah, are perfect. She shows her amiability by giving you this party. I hope you all appreciate her generosity. I want you all to express your appreciation by saying, "Thank you, Sarah."
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for coming to my party.
Very good, Sarah. That's what a real princess does when the people applaud her. Lavinia, the sound that you just made was very much like a snort. I hope that if you are jealous of your fellow pupil, you will express your feelings in a more ladylike and dignified manner. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well, I shall leave you all to enjoy yourselves.
Happy birthday, Sarah.
Thank you.
Books? Your father sent you books for your birthday? Well, he's as bad as mine.
I like them.
She's almost as big as a Lottie.
And she's dressed for the theater. Look, her cloak is my family.
C'est magnifique!
Delphine!
Coming, mon anniversaire.
Here's your trunk. Let's open it and look at things. Do you think she understands what we're saying? And is happy to be admired? You're always supposing. I know I am. I like to suppose things. There's nothing as nice as supposing. If you suppose anything hard enough, it seems real. Well, it's all very well to suppose things when you have everything. Could you suppose and pretend you were a beggar and lived on the street? I believe I could. If you were a beggar, you'd have to suppose and pretend things all the time. But it wouldn't be easy.
Sarah, your father's solicitor, Mr. Barrows, is here to speak with Miss Minchin. Since the refreshments are all laid out in her parlor, you better come have your feast now, so she can meet him in here alone. All right? Come along. Becky, go back to your work.
Right this way, Mr. Barrow. Please have a seat, Mr. Barrow.
£100, all expensive material, and made in Paris. He certainly knew how to spend money lavishly, that young man.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Barrow. I don't understand.
Such presents for a child. It's mad extravagance, if you ask me.
Captain Crewe is a man of fortune. Why, the diamond mines alone would easily upwards of £10,000.
Diamond mines. Diamond
Yes.
mines.
Sir?
Ma'am, there are no diamond mines. And there never were.
What?
Or I suppose it would be more accurate to say that things would be much better if there had never been any.
What do you mean?
Diamond mines spell ruin as often as they spell wealth. If a man is not a businessman himself and is easily swayed by dear friends, then honestly he's better off avoiding diamond mines and gold mines and any kind of mine, really. The late Captain Crewe.
The late
Certainly.
Captain Crewe. Do you mean to say that Captain Crewe has...
He's dead. He's dead. Died of jungle fever and business troubles combined.
business troubles? What were his business troubles?
Diamond mines and dear friends and ruin.
Ruin.
He lost everything, madam. Everything. Apparently, the friend was obsessed with the mines and put every cent that he and Captain Crew both had into them. Then the friend simply ran away. Apparently, Captain Crew was already quite ill when the news came. I believe the shock might have been what did him in. He died delirious, raving about his little girl, and without a single penny.
Do you mean to say that he left nothing? That Sarah will have no fortune? That the child is a beggar? That she's been left on my hands, a little pauper instead of an heiress?
Yes. Yes. The girl is a beggar. And yes, she is left on your hands, seeing as she doesn't seem to have any other living relatives that we're aware of.
This is monstrous. She's in my sitting room right now, dressed in silk and lace, throwing a party at my expense.
Well, Barrow Skipworth can't be held responsible for that, man. Honestly, I've never seen a cleaner sweep be made of a man's fortune. You know, Captain Crew died without paying our final bill as well, and I assure you, it was quite a big one.
That's what has happened to me. I was always so sure of his payments that I went to all sorts of expense for the child. I paid the bill for this ridiculous doll and its extravagant wardrobe. The child was supposed to have anything she wanted. She has a carriage, a pony, and a maid, and I've paid for all of them since the last check came.
I wouldn't suggest buying her anything else, madam, unless you intend on giving the girl some gifts. No one will remember you. The girl hasn't a brass farthing to call her own.
But what am I to do?
There is nothing to do. Captain Crew's dead, the girl is a pauper, and no one is to be left responsible for her but you.
I am not responsible for her, and I refuse to be made responsible.
I've nothing to do with that. Once again, Barrow Skipworth cannot be held responsible. Terribly sorry the thing happened, of course.
If you think she is to be foisted off on me, you are greatly mistaken. I've been robbed and cheated. I'll turn her out into the street.
I wouldn't suggest that, madam. Wouldn't look well, don't you think? Terrible story to get out in association with the establishment. Poor little pupil turned out on the street without a friend or a penny to her name. No. I say you keep her.
What?
Make use of her. She's a clever child, and I'm sure as she grows older, she'll be of fine use to you.
I suppose she could be helpful.
I'm sure she could, madam. Now, good day.
But sir, we have yet...
Maria, are you... Maria, what's the matter?
Where's Sarah Crew?
Sarah? Well, she's in your rooms with the other children, of course.
Does she have a black dress in her sumptuous wardrobe?
A black dress?
She has one of every other color. Does she have a black one?
No. I mean, yes, but it's too big. We haven't had it altered yet.
Go tell her to change out of that ridiculous frock that she is currently wearing and to put on the black dress, whether it has been altered or not. She is done with finery.
Maria? What's happened?
Captain Crew is dead. He's died without a penny. That spoiled, pampered, fanciful little child is left on my hands without a farthing to her name. I spent hundreds of pounds on nonsense for her, and I'll never see a penny of it. Go tell Sarah to change her clothes, put an end to that ridiculous party,
I have to tell her?
This instant!
But
I don't stand there squawking like a goose. Go now! Princess indeed. This child has been spoiled as if she's a queen. What was that? Come out from there at once! How dare you!
Oh, I'm sorry, Mum. I know I hadn't oughta. I was looking at those things, and I was frightened when you came in and slipped at the table.
Do you mean to say that you've been there all this time, listening?
No, Mum, not listening. I thought I could slip out without you noticing, but I couldn't. I have to say. But I didn't listen, Mum. What for nothing. But I couldn't help hearing. I'm sure you'll give me warning, Mum, but I'm just so sorry for poor Miss Sarah.
Leave this room!
Oh, please, Mum. Miss Sarah's always been a rich young lady, waiting on hand. What does she do now without a maid? Please, would you let me wait on her after I've done my pots and kettles? I'm doing that quick.
Absolutely not! She'll wait on herself and on others too. Now leave this room or you will leave your place!
well, I've told her.
Tell her to come in here and inform her that I will have no crying or hysterics or unpleasant scenes.
But Maria, she's the strangest child that I ever saw. She didn't fuss at all. Well, when I told her what happened, she just stood still as a statue, looking at me. Her eyes got bigger and bigger, and she went very pale. But when I finished, she just stood there staring for a few seconds and then just turned and ran out of the room. Well, it seems strange not being answered like that. I mean, when someone tells you anything sudden or upsetting, you expect them to say something.
Go fetch Sarah now! What do you mean bringing that thing in here? Put it down at once!
No, I won't put her down. She's all I have. My papa gave her to me.
You'll have no time for dolls in the future. You'll have to work and improve yourself and earn your living. Everything will be different now. Miss Amelia has explained things to you.
Yes. My papa's dead. He left me no money. I'm poor.
You're a beggar. You have no family, no home, no one who cares for you. What are you staring at? Are you so stupid that you cannot understand? I tell you that you are alone.
Wanted.
Don't put on grand airs. The time for that sort of thing is past. You're not a little princess any longer. You'll wear your oldest and plainest clothes. Your extravagant ones are no longer suited to your station. Your carriage and pony will be sent away. Your maid will be dismissed. You're like Becky. You must earn your place.
Can I work? If I can, it won't matter so much. What can I do?
Anything you're told. You're a clever child, and you pick things up quickly. If you make yourself useful, I may allow you to stay here. You speak French well, and you can help with younger pupils.
May I? Oh, please let me. I know I can teach them. I like them and they like me.
Don't talk nonsense about anyone liking you. You'll have to do more than help with the little ones. You'll help in the kitchen and run errands, sweep the floors, tidy the fireplace. If you don't please me, you'll be sent away. Remember that. Now go. Stop! Aren't you going to thank me?
For what?
For my kindness to you. For my kindness in giving you a home.
No, because you're not kind and it's not a home!
Well, this will be your room now. Becky's right next door. I know you'll be just fine. Well, I better get back downstairs.
I come in, miss? No, Becky. I told you we were just the same. The two little girls. You see how true it is. There's no difference now. I'm not a princess anymore.
Yes, miss. You are. Whatever happens to you, you'll be princess all the same. Nothing can make you nothing different.
We'll now be having our 15-minute intermission. Good, actually. Yeah, let's practice.
I remember when you chased away shadows away. Let me give to you all that you have given to me. Even for the I'm supposed to when the storm draws, my dreams will shine. For your eyes know that you're not alone. When the battle starts, I will come the shortless heart. You will know that you are. When your stars start shining, endless minds around you, one thing know that you're not alone. I will give my all, so your tears will no longer fall down your sorrows.
Yeah, it's out of position. It's hitting the curtain. Oh, hang on, Mom. This one's literally broken. Nothing. I'll try this at the whole show.
That's where the fortune went.
That's why yesterday you were being so obedient because I was like, you're gonna let you do it. He's like, fair. And I was like, okay. One tear stain my eyes. I saw the sweet memories brought back to me. Sweet lullaby, gasping my fragile heart and whispering your soft embrace of my is this or is it another nightmare?
How is everybody?
Wheels of time have turned, and laughter drops. Oh, Sarah, is that you? Yes. How are you? I don't know. How are you? I'm well. Are you very unhappy, Sarah? What do you think? Do you think I'm very happy?
What are you crying for, Ermengarde?
Are you crying?
You are! A great big tear just rolled down your nose, and there's another one.
They're invisible, and I don't need you to bother me. Ermengarde, you'll get into trouble for being here. I know I will with my book, but I don't care. Sarah, please tell me why you don't like me anymore. I do like you. Everything's different now. And I thought you were different too. No, it was you who were different. You wouldn't talk to me anymore, and I didn't know what to do. I am different, but not in the way you think. Smitchin doesn't want me to talk to other girls, and most of them don't want to talk to me. I thought maybe you didn't either, so I just tried to get out of your way. Oh, Sarah, I bet you could barely think about me, but I couldn't barely live without you. So tonight, I thought I could look here and beg you to let me. You're nicer than I am. I was too proud to try and make friends. Now that trials have come, I'm sure I'm not a nice child. I was afraid they would. Maybe that's what they were sent for. Well, I don't see any good in them. Neither do I, to tell the truth. But I suppose there might be good in things, even if we don't see it. There might be good in Miss Minchin. You think you can bear living here, Sarah? If I pretend it's different, I can. If I pretend it's a place in a story, people have lived in those places. Think of the people in the Bastille. The Bastille? Yes, that's a good place to pretend about. I'm a prisoner in the Bastille. I've been here for years and years, and everybody has forgotten about me. Minchin's the jailer, and Becky's the prisoner in the next room. I'll pretend that. It'll be really comforting to me. And may I come up here tonight? Will you tell me all about it? Then it will seem like one of the best friends than ever. Yes. Hard times try people, and mine have tried you, and proven how nice you are. Oh, Sarah. Don't cry, make a noise. I'll be scolded if you do. You know it's not such a bad room, Lottie. Why isn't it? You can see all sorts of things you can't see downstairs. Like what? Chimneys with smoke coming up to the sky. And sparrows hopping playing about and talking to one another. And other attic windows were happy to pop up at any minute. Ooh, let me see, let me see. I wish someone lived in the building across from us. So close that if there was a little girl in the attic, we could talk to one another through the windows and climb up to see each other.
Oh, Sarah. Oh, I like this attic. It's a nicer than downstairs.
Look at that sparrow. I wish she had some crumbs to throw to him.
I do. I put a bun in my sock.
Will he come? It looks like he might. He's thinking. Yes, he's coming. Now he knows I'll come back for more. This room is so little and high above everything else that it's almost like a nest in a tree. And when the morning begins to come, I can lie in bed and look right through the window. If the sun is going to shine, little pink clouds float up the room, and I feel as if I could touch them. And if it rains, drops patter like you're saying something nice. And if there are stars have to, you can try to count them. It really is a beautiful little room.
Oh, Sarah. Oh, I have an idea. May I live here, please?
I don't think Miss Minchin will think much of that idea. In fact, you should probably get back downstairs. You'll be in trouble if Miss Minchin finds you here.
Okay, you're right. But may I come back and visit you sometimes?
I love that. I can't bear this. I'll die soon. I'm cold and wet. I'm starving. I walked 1,000 miles today, and they just folded me from morning till night. And because I couldn't find that last thing that Miss Jones sent me out for, they wouldn't give me any supper. Some men laughed when my old shoes made me fall in the mud. I'm covered with mud now, and they laugh. Do you hear? You're nothing but a doll! You're nothing but a doll! You don't care about anything. You're stuffed with sawdust. You don't have a heart. You can't feel. You're a doll! Can't help being a doll. Any more than Lavinia and Jesse can't help having any sense. You're not all the same. Maybe you do your sawdust best.
It's an Indian gentleman who's come to live next door, miss. I'm Miss Jones, I'm at my father's there. He's very rich and he's ill. There's a lot of trouble between ill and anything.
He's from India? But I don't feel like we're friends.
That's him, miss. That's him.
Girls, stop your dorming. Becky, get them clothes home already. Sarah, get that milk in here.
How are you, sir?
Very well, and you, miss?
I'm well. Is he yours?
Yes, he is.
Will he let me catch him?
I doubt that, miss. He is a very good monkey, but very disobedient. If you are permitted, I can get across and get that silly creature.
Can you get across?
Yes, I think so.
Then please come. He's running around like he's scared.
Thank you, miss.
Would you like to sit down for a moment?
Yes, thank you. As I said, he's a good little fellow, but a mischievous one.
What's his name?
His name is Ashmead. It means,
Every friend.
yes. Tell me, how did you know?
Before I came to London, I lived in India. I grew up there. I really miss it sometimes.
So do I. Well, Ashmead and I must return home. Perhaps we could come back to visit.
That'd be wonderful. I'm free most evenings.
She is an unusual child. Thoughtful, solemn, and wise.
I wonder how many attics in this square have wretched little servants like that one. Will I toss and turn on down pillows, harassed by wealth that's not mine?
My friend, the sooner you cease tormenting yourself, the better it will be for you. If you possess all the wealth of the Indies, you cannot set right all the discomforts of the world.
Is it possible that the child, Ralph's child, could be living like that poor girl next door?
If the child at Madame Pascal's school in Paris is the one you are searching for, she would seem to be in the hands of people who can afford to take care of her. Madame Pascal said the couple that adopted her were extremely wealthy Russians.
Yes, and the wretched woman didn't even know they had taken her!
Evidently, she was only too glad to get the child off her hands when the father's death left her totally unprovided for. Women like her do not trouble themselves about the futures of children who might prove burdens. Are you sure the child was left at a school in Paris?
My dear fellow, I'm not sure of anything. I never saw the child. Ralph Crewe and I were great friends when we were young, but we hadn't seen each other in a great many years. Until we met in India. Oh, we're absorbed in the mines. The whole thing was so huge and glittering that we nearly lost half our heads. I only knew that she had been sent to school somewhere. I must find her. If she's friendless and penniless, it's my fault. The sudden change of luck at the mines had made our most fantastic dreams come true. And poor Crewe's child may be begging in the streets. Why was I not man enough to stand my ground when things looked black? I should have stood my ground. He trusted me and he died thinking of... What a villain he must have thought me.
Do not reproach yourself so bitterly.
I don't reproach myself because the venture threatened to fail. I reproach myself for losing courage. I ran away like a thief in the night because I couldn't face my best friend and tell him I ruined him and his child.
You ran away because you were half delirious. If you had not been, you would have stayed and fought it out. You were in a hospital, brave on a brave for 2 days after that, remember?
Yes, and when I returned to consciousness, Ralph was dead and buried. Surely, I must have heard him speak of the school. Don't you think so?
He may not have spoken of her definitely. You never seem to have heard her real name.
No, I didn't. The wretched minds drove everything else out of our heads. If he spoke of the school, I forgot. Now I'll never remember.
We shall find her.
It's 4 penny pence. Are you very hungry?
Yes. So hungry.
Haven't you had any dinner?
No dinner. No breakfast. No supper. No nothing.
Since when?
I don't know. Never got nothing today. I've asked and asked.
Wait right here. Excuse me? Have you lost a 4 pence?
Bless us now. Did you find it?
Yes, in the gutter.
Keep it then. You never know who lost it.
I know that. But I thought I'd ask.
Not many would. Would you like to buy something?
Yes. 4 buns, please. Those are a penny each.
There you are.
I said 4 buns, please. I only have 4 pence.
I threw in 2 more. Sure look like you could eat them sometime. Ain't you hungry?
Yes, very hungry. And I'm much obliged to you for your kindness. This is nice and hot. Eat it and you won't feel so hungry. Goodbye.
Well, I never. That youngin's gone and give her buns to the beggar child. It ain't 'cause she didn't want them either. She looked hungry now. It's something to know what she did it for. Hey, who gave you them buns? What'd she say?
Asked if I was hungry.
And what'd you tell her?
Told her I was.
And she went and got them buns and brought them back to you, did she? How many?
5.
And left just one for herself. And she could have had a dozen. Too bad she went on so quick. Oh well, are you still hungry?
Well, I'm always hungry, but it ain't as bad as it was.
All right, come on then, get yourself warm. If you're ever hard up for a bit of bread, you come and ask for it. Blessed if I won't give it to you for that youngin's sake.
Oh, Sarah, I'm glad you've come. You look tired.
I am tired. I didn't expect to see you tonight, Ernie. Miss
Mitchen's gone. Miss Amelia's gone out, and she's the only one who ever checks on us. I could stay here until the morning if I wanted to. Papa sent me more books.
Carlyle's French Revolution. I've been dying to read that.
I haven't, and Papa will be mad if I don't have it memorized by the holidays.
I have an idea. You can lend me these books, I'll read them, and then tell you everything that's in it so you can remember it too.
Do you think you can?
I know I can.
If you would do that, Sarah, I would give you anything.
You don't have to give me anything. Now, let's talk about other things. How are you getting along with the French lessons?
Ever so much better since you explained the conjunctions. Miss Amelia and Miss Mitchen were so surprised that first morning.
Miss Minchin doesn't understand where Lottie's doing her sum so well. But it's because she creeps up here too. And I help her.
You impudent, deceitful child! Miss Joan tells me she has missed things repeatedly.
It wasn't me, Mom. I was hungry enough, but it wasn't me. Never.
You should be sent off. Picking and stealing. Papa meat pie indeed.
It wasn't me. I could have eaten the old one, but no little finger on it.
Don't tell lies. Go to your room.
That mean old thing! Miss Joan takes things herself and then says Becky steals them. She doesn't. She's so hungry sometimes that she eats crusts at the ash barrel.
Oh, Sarah, are you ever hungry?
Yes. I'm so hungry right now. I can almost eat you. And it makes it worse to your poor Becky. She's hungrier than I am.
What a silly thing I am to not have thought of it by now.
Of what?
My nicest aunt sent me a box full of treats. She sent me chocolates, all sorts of fruits, mince pies and jam tarts and cake and cookies. I'll go get it this minute.
Really?
Yes, lights are out. Everyone's asleep.
Oh, Ernie, let's pretend it's a party. And won't you invite Becky?
Yes, let's do it now.
That means come through the secret passage. I have something to tell you. She's coming.
Don't mind me, Becky.
Ermengarde asked you to join us because she's going to bring a box of yummy food up here for us.
To eat, miss?
Yes, and we're going to pretend it's a party.
And you can have as much as you want. I'll go this minute.
We need to hurry and set the table.
What do we set it with?
There doesn't seem to be much. I have an idea. These can be plates and napkins. Oh, would you have any buckets of dish behind the curtain, please? If only we had something for candy dishes. I know. Now, it's a beautiful banquet hall where feasts are given. It has a vaulted ceiling, and a minstrel's gallery, and a huge chimney filled with blazing logs and candles twinkling on every side.
Oh, Miss Sarah, it's lovely.
Oh, Sarah, you're the cleverest girl I ever saw.
Isn't it nice? Their things have an old trunk.
Sarah, why don't you pretend it's a party?
It's your feast, Ernie. You should be the princess.
Oh no, I can never. Please, dear.
Well, if you want me to. Advance, fair maidens, and be seated at the banquet hall. My noble father, the king who is absent on a long journey, has commanded me to feast you. Minstrels, strike up your instruments. Princesses always have. Minstrels at their feasts. Pretend there's a minstrel's gallery in the corner.
Oh, Sarah, you make everything sound like a story.
Everything is a story. I'm a story, you're a story, Becky's a story. Even Miss Minch is a story.
A really bad one.
What's that? I've been expecting something like this, but I never dreamed of such audacity. You will be sent away from here in the morning.
Oh, Miss Mitchell, don't send her away. We were only having a party.
With the Princess Sarah at the head of the table, I see. Go to your room. And you've decorated it with this trash. Pick these things up and put them in the box. They aren't yours. And you brought Ermengarde. You brought your lovely new books up to this filthy attic. Take them and go to your room. You'll stay there all day tomorrow as punishment. What would your father say if he knew where you'd been this evening? Well, don't stop. What are you staring at? What are you thinking?
I was just wondering.
Wondering? Wondering what?
I was just wondering what my papa would say if he knew where I was tonight.
You insolent fucking little child! I shall leave you to wonder. Ermengarde, go!
There isn't any banquet left, Emily. And there isn't any princess. There's nothing left but the prisoners in the Bastille. The little girl in the attic. My friend? I don't know who it is, but somebody cares for me a little. I have a friend. Becky, Becky, wake up! Come quickly!
Miss Sarah, what did you do?
I didn't do this. It was here when I woke up. It's all real. I've
rather mean of you, Lobby. Telling on Sarah and Ermengarde and Becky like that last night.
It was not. She was being deceitful. Besides, it's ridiculous that she should look so high and mighty and be made such a fuss over.
But they all got punished for it. Miss Joan was saying that the only reason Miss Minchin didn't make Sad Becky leave is because she couldn't find anyone else to do what they do for so little. How did you find out anyway?
I got it out of Lottie. She's such a baby. She didn't even know she was telling me.
And what were they doing when Miss Minchin caught them?
Pretending something silly, of course. Ermengarde took box of treats up there, sharing with Becky and Sarah. She never shares things with us. Not that I care or anything, but it's rather rude to share with servant girls, but not us. Miss Minchin should kick Sarah out.
If she was kicked out, where would she go?
How do I know? Anyways, she got what she deserved. She didn't have any dinner yesterday. She's not supposed to have any today.
Well, I think it's terrible. They've got no right to starve her to death.
Sarah Crew is looking remarkably well.
Yes, she's absolutely fattening. She's beginning to look like a little starved crow.
Starved? There was no reason she should look starved. She always had plenty to eat.
Of course.
That sort of thing is very distressing in a child.
What sort of thing?
One might almost call it defiant. The spirit and will of any other child would be broken, but humbled by the changes that she has experienced. But Sarah seems as little changed as, well, as if she were a princess. Enter.
Excuse me, Mum. This was just delivered.
Very well, set it over there.
But Mum, it's not for you. See here, it's addressed to the little girl in the Rigged Hand attic.
What?
To the little...
Yes, I can read. Thank you. What's in it?
I don't know. I didn't open it. It's not addressed
Well,
to me.
open it now.
Well, who on earth could have sent these things? Could we have made a mistake? Do you think an unknown relative has tracked Sarah down?
Go and tell Sarah that once she's changed her clothes, she may come down to lessons and join the other pupils. She doesn't need to go on any more errands today.
Of course, Mum. I don't understand.
Neither do I.
get in.
It's actually that monkey.
Mm-hmm. Must have crept out. And see no light?
You know what I meant?
Oh, yes. It's too cold from out there. I'll coax him in. Here, Archie, darling. I won't hurt you.
Here's my note. Thank you, miss.
He looks like an ugly baby. Take him back to the Indian gentleman in the morning. I'm sorry you have to go, Archie.
What's the news? Is the child the Russian couple adopted?
It is not her. She is much younger than Captain Crew's little girl. And her name is Carew, not Crew.
The search has to begin all over again. We must begin at once, but where do we search? We've already checked in Paris. Maybe we should check more here in London.
Mr. Carrisford, I would like you to meet someone.
Oh, yes.
She is the young girl I told you about.
Hello, sir. I'm sorry to disturb you. I was just returning Archie. I found him scratching at my window last night.
Well, that was very thoughtful of you. Aren't you the young lady that's living in the attic of the young ladies' seminary next door?
Yes, sir.
But you aren't a pupil?
I don't entirely know what I am anymore.
Why not?
First, I was a pupil at the parlor boarder. But now,
What are you now?
I sleep in the attic, run errands with maids, do everything they tell me, and to help teach the younger children their lessons.
What do you mean by at first?
When I was first brought to the school, and my papa,
Where is he now?
he died. He lost all his money, and there was none left for him, and no one to take care of me or to pay his pension.
How did your father lose his money?
He didn't lose it all himself. A close friend stole all his money.
What was your father's name?
Captain Rolf Queen.
It's the child, Randolph! It's her!
What child am I?
He was a friend of your father's. Do not be frightened. We have been looking for you for a long time.
And I was at Miss Minchin's all the while.
You know what I had when I was out?
What?
Mrs. Pitkin, the one who comes by the school sometimes. Well, apparently she's been having very special dinner parties. Just her and Admiral Casey.
Admiral Casey?
And that's not all. Mr. Pitkin came home right in the middle of one.
Oh my goodness.
Have either of you seen Sarah? I need her to run an errand for me.
I seen her head next door. She had something under her coat.
What does she mean by that?
I don't know, Maria. Maybe she befriended the gentleman because he lived in India.
That would be just like her to thrust herself upon him in such an impertinent fashion and try to gain his sympathies. When did you last see her?
About 2 hours or so ago.
I shall have to go and collect that insolent child and apologize to the gentleman.
So what happened when Mr. Pickens came home?
So it was you who sent me all those lovely things?
Yes, Ramdos told me of coming to meet you, so we decided to send you some necessities.
I'm so grateful. I don't know what I would have done if those things didn't come when I did.
Oh, it's no problem.
Mr. Carrisford, there is someone who wishes to see you, sir.
So sorry to disturb you, Mr. Carrisford, but I have explanations to make. I am Miss Minchin, the proprietress of the young ladies' seminary next door.
Ah, so you're Miss Minchin.
I am, sir.
Well, in that case, you arrived at just the right time. My solicitor, Ramdos, was just on the point of coming to see you.
Your solicitor? I don't understand. I've come because I've only just discovered that you have been intruded upon by one of our pupils, a charity pupil. Sarah, go home at once. You will be severely punished for this.
She's not going.
Not going.
No, she's not going home if you call your house that. Her home, for the future, will be with me.
With you? What does this mean?
Allow me to explain, madam. Mr. Carrisford was an old friend of the late Captain Crew and was his partner in certain large investments. The fortune which was lost has now been recovered and is now in Mr. Carrisford's hands.
The fortune. Sarah's fortune.
It will be Sarah's fortune. It's Sarah's fortune now, in fact. There are few people richer than your charity pupil, Miss Minchin. We have been certain Mr. Carrisford will keep her.
He found her in my cab. I've done everything for her. If not for me, she would have starved in the street.
She might have starved more comfortably there than in your attic.
Captain Crew left her in my charge. She must continue her education. She may be a parlor boarder again, but she must complete her studies until she is of age. The law will interfere on my behalf.
Miss Minchin, the law will do no sort of thing. If Sarah wishes to return to you, I dare say Mr. Carrisford shall not refuse. But that rests with Sarah.
Then I appeal to you, Sarah. I haven't spoiled you, perhaps, but you know your father was pleased with your progress. And I've always been so fond of you.
Happy, Miss Minchin? I didn't know that.
You may not have realized it, but children so very rarely know what is best for them. Amelia and I always said you were the cleverest child at school. Won't you do your duty to your poor father and come home with me?
You know why I won't go with you, Miss Minchin. You know quite well.
You'll never see your friends again. Ermengarde, Lottie, and Becky will be kept from you, and you will...
She'll see anyone she wishes to see, Miss Minchin. The parents of her fellow pupils aren't likely to refuse her invitations here. I'll attend to that, I assure you.
You haven't undertaken an easy charge. You'll find that out soon enough. That child is neither truthful nor grateful. I suppose you think you're a princess again, don't you?
Every little girl's a princess. Didn't your papa ever tell you that?
Carrisford is to adopt Sarah? And
I
that he was
don't know how you and Joan ever get any work done at all with all the incessant yammering that you do.
Well, is it?
Yes, it's
Oh.
true.
All of it? Even the fortune?
Of course it's true. You heard it from Joan, didn't you? Why must I be burdened with the most idiotic, useless sister ever to walk this earth?
I know I'm not as clever as you, Maria. And I'm always afraid of saying things for fear of upsetting you and making you angry. Maybe if I wasn't so timid, things would be better for the school and for us. But I must say this. I've often thought that you should have been less severe on Sarah and seen that she was more decently dressed and comfortable. I know that she worked too hard for a child of her age, and I know she was only half fed.
How dare you?
I don't know how I dare, but now that I've begun, I might as well finish. She is a good child and a clever child. And she would have repaid you for any kindness you had shown her, but you didn't show her any. The fact was, she was too clever for you, and you always disliked her for it. She used to see through us both.
Now that is
And she did. She did. She saw through us both. She saw that you were a hard-hearted woman, and that I was a weak fool, and that we were both vulgar and mean enough to grovel on our knees for her money and then degrade her when it was taken away. Though she behaved like a princess, even though she was a beggar. And now you've lost her. Some other school will get her and her money. If she were like any other child, she'd tell how she'd been treated. And then all of our students would be taken away and we would be ruined. And it serves us right. But especially you. You're a hard woman, Maria mentioned. You're a hard, selfish, worldly woman.
Oh, Sarah, I'm going to miss you so much. I'm only going to be gone for a few months. Uncle Tom's in business to attend to in India, and he's letting me come along.
Who's Uncle Tom? Mr. Carrisford, of course. And you'll write to us, won't you, Sarah?
Of course. Oh, I wish I could go with you and see India.
I wish all of you could go too, but at least you'll have Becky with me.
I'm sure you'll enjoy being Sarah's attendant, Becky.
I already am.
Anything's better than being around Miss Minchie.
Girls, you still have lessons, you know.
Oh, I'm going to miss you all.
Bon voyage, Sarah. And you as well, Becky.
Au revoir, ma belle Louvache.
Au revoir.
School will be awful dull without you, Sarah.
I'll be back before you know it.
And she's sure to have thought of a dozen new stories by now.
You better go.
Oh, bye, Sarah.
Goodbye,
Becky.
Bye. I'll miss you. I'll back soon.
Girls, come along.
you going to tell me what this important errand was? We don't want to be late.
Well, I just want to ask someone a favor.
All right.
There she is.
Sure, I know you, miss, but
You gave me 6 buns for 4 pence once.
and you gave your buns to that beggar child. I've always remembered it. There's not many that sees a hungry face in that way. Excuse the liberty, miss, but you look rosier and, well, better than you did.
I am better. Thank you. And much happier. And I've come to ask you to do something for me.
Me, miss? Well, of course. What can I do for you?
When hungry children come and sit on the steps of the bakery or look at the windows, would you call them into your shop and give them something to eat? You can send the bills to me, of course.
Oh, bless me. It'd be a pleasure. I'm a working woman myself and can't afford to do much. But I must say, I've given away many a bit of bread since that day. Just thinking of you and how cold you was and how hungry you looked. And then you went and gave your bread away like you's a princess.
She looks so hungry. She's even hungrier than I was.
She was starving. Many a time she's told me of it since. How cold she was. How she felt like a wolf was tearing at her insides.
Have you seen her since then? Do you know where she is?
I do. She's in the back room, has been for a week now. She helps me. She's a good girl. And come out here, please. I told her to come around if she was ever hungry, and I'd give her odd jobs to do. She was willing, and I grew to like her. End of it is, I gave her a place in our home, and she helps me and behaves herself. She's grateful as a girl could be. Her name's Anne.
I'm so glad. And I just thought of something. Maybe Miss Biddle would let you be the one to give the buns to the children. Maybe you'd like to do it because you know what it feels like to be hungry?
Yes, miss.
Sarah, we must be going.
Okay. May I come back and visit sometime?
Of course.
Thank you all for coming.
You should were an amazing kindergarten. I'm tired and I was watching you and so that's fun. How tall is it fun? I actually am really sad on it. Really doing a good job at yeah, put it down, baby. She like picks him up. He's my favorite. Okay, God, put it down. I know. Every time Emily is like, Simon. She was like all the girls like in the I wanted. Oh yeah, Bridget Reynolds, the little kid in shock at home. Oh my God. He like came up and he was like one time when he had someone, he was like, guess what? I bought chocolate at my house. And I was like, that's really cool. I have to. He was like, is it washable like mine? And I was like, probably. And he was like, we have to check and tell me. And I was like, okay. And so he was like, I have washable sidewalk chalk. I'm so cool. Like the past few nights, she's had to like pick him up and carry him to the doorway. So his mom was going to stand on the wall out of the way. And so we're like, come on, you're going out. And he's like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And I ran him over to the curtain so he could come out. My dad walked in.